my name is Sejal. I'm currently a part-time MBA student at NYU, but I'm also a singer-songwriter, DJ, and a entrepreneur. I'm the founder of an arts and entertainment firm called Undefined and the Rosewater Music Festival. And I'm also a full-time product manager in big tech.
And what are some things people should know about your culture? Like that could include food, language, history, music.
Yeah, so I myself am first generation Indian American. So I identify a lot with the South Asian diaspora. And we have so much rich food, culture, and music coming from our region that's really influenced a lot of the way that I live my life and how I was raised. And I think that my favorite part about it is how colorful it is and how in touch with nature a lot of the things that we do to celebrate our traditions are linked to. And so I think a lot of this just really makes life so much more colorful and beautiful. And it's definitely something that I integrate into my everyday life, especially with the work that I do in the music industry.
And do you like find ways like how can I say this like combining your culture into your music, like combining different genres?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a fusion artist, and so I love to mix different genres of my work. So a lot of the music that I have out right now, it's fusing all kinds of different genres, even sampling. It's like me singing like older, like vintage, Bollywood music or songs that are very nostalgic to me and trying to modernize them, especially because I feel like that represents my identity as someone who identifies as a third culture, first generation person from the diaspora. So I think I wanted to tell our stories of what it means to be someone coming from that background. And we create kind of our own culture by being part of the diaspora. And I grew up around so many different cultures as well. And I think that that's what's so beautiful about being from a diasporic identity is that it's this fusion of sorts, and I wanted my music to reflect that.
Also, this might sound off topic, but shout out to Bollywood music. I had one of my friends, she had put me onto a Bollywood movie, and I like one of the songs from the soundtrack. I can't remember which one it is, but like it's in my playlist. So then it's cool that you sample and like, of course, like you said, try to replicate that sound. Um, I guess like, who do you look up to when it comes to representation? This could be like family, friends, like maybe even like other, Indian musicians.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I look up to my parents a lot, actually, for my inspiration. Growing up, I didn't really see anyone that was like myself on the main stage. And I also feel like the music industry and the entertainment industry in general, there's not that much representation for people like myself and for diasporic communities. And I think that a lot of what I would see is like more of a caricaturization that wasn't actually representative of what the experience was like for me, especially because a lot of the people that are represented in the media come from so much privilege or nepotism. And as someone who's fully self-made and independent, I didn't really have anyone to look up to. And so I was like, let me kind of be the change that I wanted to see in the world. And a lot of that was influenced by my parents who came to this country as immigrants and now they're US citizens and so proud to be in this country where they're able to see like me being the first woman in our family to get an education and to have a career and be able to achieve all these dreams that may not have been possible if they hadn't made those sacrifices.
And I guess what are some, societal issues, like say amongst, the Indian community that people should be aware about or should be educated on?
Yeah, I think that the thing about India and being Indian is that it's such a huge part of the world, right? It's such a huge country and it's so, so diverse with all kinds of people. And I think that depending on what region you're from or even what specific culture that you're from that region, like there's so many subtle differences. And I think that when a lot of us become a diaspora community coming to the US and even living in New York, for example, where I'm based, I think that there's a lot of mixing. And what happens is we kind of create our own culture based on how we're raised and all of our environmental surroundings here. And so I think that something that I wanted to do is bring a lot of these communities together, which is why I founded the Rosewater Music Festival and why in my music I'm influenced by so many different cultural elements. Even as a DJ, I'm always trying to play global world music because I feel like there's so much more that we have in common than what divides us. And I think that a lot of the societal issues come from these misunderstandings or thinking maybe one community might have this misunderstanding about another community, but I think really we have so much more in common. And now more than ever, we need to come together to support each other because all of us are seen as minorities, right? And I think that this term can be so harmful, especially when we actually have a majority of the hold on the influence of culture and how we've shaped a lot of pop culture and media that we see, especially coming from America. And so I think that what I wanted to do is bring all these communities together and share how beautiful and how similar we are.
I guess what does AAPi month mean to you, and like, are you planning on doing anything for this month?
Yeah, so AAPI month is really special to me because I didn't even know that we had this until like last year or the year before when I started doing events. And then I became aware of it because I thought that it was so special that finally, like, these communities were getting recognition and that we were having the opportunity to spotlight, specifically in the arts and entertainment space, artists that aligned with these backgrounds. And so when I started Undefined last year and moved to New York, I really wanted to do an event to celebrate artists from this community. And so we did a rooftop party in Manhattan where we celebrated AAPi identifying artists. And that was really, really special. I performed as well. And it was a very great way to be able to connect with other artists in the community, but also to share our culture and how we kind of fused it with like our own experiences and like maybe like songs that people can recognize, but also now they're being introduced to like some parts of our culture with the broader New York community. And so that was really exciting. It was a really successful event as well. We filled the venue and sold out. And so that was really, really special. This year, I have been traveling a lot, so I haven't had time to really do anything. But I think in general, what I try to do is go and support other people who are throwing events, support my fellow AAPI identifying artists, because I think that's the best that I can do is when my cup isn't full, when my cup is full or when it's not full, what I can do is go and make sure that I fill other people's cups or we support each other. And that's how we all stay connected as a community, because what community means is it's not just if you're AAPI identifying, you support other AAPI identifying, but it's like all of us together need to acknowledge kind of what's going on and be there for one another, regardless of like what these identities or labels mean, and just be mindful that we're always supporting each other, regardless of just it being this month or if it's an ongoing thing, you know?
And would you have any, I guess, advice for any, say, young person, who, of course, is Indian, who wants to get into music, maybe DJing, of course, maybe want to, create, like, again, events, celebrating others, and of course, in their backgrounds?
Yeah, I think the strongest piece of advice that I have is to always stay true to yourself and be genuine. And it can be so difficult sometimes because of what we see on social media, or maybe we see like certain people from the community getting attention or virality, trying to like be the next cool girl or trying to like show parts of our culture that might be, more flashy. Like, I don't know, like some things that are trending from the culture, but it's like, the end of the day, you don't have to make your culture a trend because you are a part of that culture. And as long as you're being genuine and true to yourself, your experience and how you represent yourself and how you identify is just as valuable. And I think that that's what's missing, especially now as we come to the age of like social media and AI. I think what's going to make people stand out from all of this and really get that visibility that they deserve is being so true to themselves and making sure that no matter what you do, don't try to like just copy someone else, but be yourself authentically in every aspect, especially as an artist, and actually show up and support other artists as well. I think that, you can't expect people to come for you when you aren't showing up for them. So always make sure that you show up for your communities, especially the communities that you want to be a part of.
You went into depth about it earlier, but I guess just how do you show representation in, of course, like your content? But like I know you explained, like, being a DJ, trying to, of course, like include different sounds, especially global sounds, but is there any other ways?
Yeah, I think a lot of the work that I try to do with Undefined is try to create opportunities and try to help people find different avenues to connect with other artists or even to see how they can get representation through opportunities that are so gatekept. And I think with Rosewater, that's one of the goals of the festival is we try to get a really amazing venue like Public Records, which is the home of Rosewater in New York, and try to open it up to other artists who identify with the diasporic communities and provide them an opportunity so we can share their talent with the broader New York community, record everything and share this on our social media platforms, and also through a lot of the full service of creative work that we do. We have art, visual art that we're sharing. We also create physical art. Like we have our merch that we designed locally, and we try to represent a lot of the Swana and South Asian African diasporic culture through the designs that we share as well. And then with the music aspect too, like you said, like a lot of those global influences, we really want people to be introduced to these different cultures in an organic and authentic way where it's something that's not what other people are doing. And I think that as a creative, I try to see, what's kind of missing from our landscape. And I really wanted to create a place that felt like home. And so the motto of the music festival and of Undefined and all of the creative work that I do is welcome home, because I want everyone to feel like when they show up, whether it's by themselves or with a friend, that they will leave with their chosen family. Because even though all of us come from these different backgrounds, being a person of color in America right now, we still need to choose our chosen families. And a lot of us want to be able to show up in these spaces and dance and enjoy arts and entertainment, but it's hard to do so sometimes when there's a lot going on in the world. And I wanted to create a safe space where people could authentically be themselves.
Oh, wait, that's so sweet.
Mhm.
And I guess, do you have anything else you'd like to add for the interview?
I would say if anyone has anything that they ever want to connect with me on, I'm so happy to just reach out. The best way to reach me is find me on every platform. Just look up Sejal Kargal, Sejalkargal. And if you want to find my music on every platform, I'm $EJ. It's pronounced Sage, first three letters of my name. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful, and I'm so excited to be a part of this. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, no, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course, good luck with your studies and everything.
Thank you. You
Or
too.
did you already graduate? I'm sorry.
No, I'm actually graduating next year.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely graduating next year too. Yeah.
Amazing. Class of 2027. Let's go. Amazing. So great meeting you.
You too, have a good day.